It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars.
What is it you want, Barry? What do you want? You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down. Hey, that's a pretty good idea. I'll give you the moon, Barry.
I'll take it.
Have you ever looked at the night sky and saw the moon reflecting the light of the sun and wondered what that was all about? And maybe at a deeper level, really wondered if that had anything to do with you? And so the real question we want to examine briefly is, have we ever thought about mooning for Jesus? One of the great stories that many people often miss is how God uses the creation to teach us about His love. And the story of the sun and the moon are a couple of the great witnesses that God gives to the world about that love. And in Genesis chapter 1, verse 16, we hear the story that God created the sun to reflect His light into the world through the moon at night. And that story, far beyond just a story of the sun and the moon, is a story about God's love. How the Lord, the Son, the S-O-N, reflects His love into the world through us, that other people might see His love and grace. And in 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 18, we hear the story of how we reflect, just like the moon, the love of God into a dark world. And we, who with unveiled faces all reflect the Lord's glory, are being transformed into His likeness with ever-increasing glory, which comes from the Lord, who is the Spirit. And so the amazing story is the Lord has used the story of the sun and the moon to teach us about how He brings truth and light into the world. And one of the exciting things for Christians is to be able to reflect the love of God into this world, to go into the world and tell them about the love of God. And as we look at our world today, it certainly seems like we're in a period of a lot of darkness. Everywhere we look today, people don't seem to see the love of God and the wonderful things the Lord wants us to know about Him. But the privilege we have as believers is to reflect His light, just like the moon, and let the world see the wonders of our God through our lives. And so as people look into our faces, hopefully they see Christ in some way, shining out into the world, giving the world hope, giving the world a sense of grace, salvation, and new beginnings in everything. And so that's the great thing that we're about in this hour, is to moon for Jesus and let people see the love and the glory of our Savior.